Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. I see you got a new studio there set up. Looks good. Looks good. Looks
You
real
like
good.
it?
Yeah,
you like
yeah.
it? You like that there? Yeah,
Yeah. You got a little something going on. Like like to stole somebody's setup. You know, it's all good though. It's all good. I got to get me one of them. I don't know. Is that a green screen or what? You know what I mean?
You know what, Book? You know what I'm saying? Like, look, don't blow up my gimmick here.
Is that a green screen? That's what that is.
Don't let the cat out of the bag. All right. I got this from the Easter Bunny. All right. Don't let the cat out of the bag.
The thing is, I don't see no little green line around you. Normally when you got the green screen, you got like a little green line around you, and I could tell. But this one, it's got the real deal work. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? The little stuff.
Is it real or is it Memorex? We don't know.
Yeah, man. But what's good on me? How life treating you? I know it's hot out there right now.
Yeah.
But how life treating you?
It was good. I was standing outside. I was telling you before we went live, there was a police chopper above my house for, I don't know, at least 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. And he was zooming. He was looking for somebody. And then, I don't know all the intricacies of a police helicopter, but when it was up there, all of a sudden, something out of the bottom, popped out. Like he was up there, and then something from the bottom of the copter popped out, like this little black thing. I don't know if it was a scope.
Might have been a camera, maybe a camera.
Maybe a camera. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty sweet.
They did not have a eyewitness news or anything. It wasn't
It wasn't a news one. It said I could see police on it.
Oh, okay,
on the side of it.
Yeah, that's the real deal. Yeah, they probably was hunting down some of them boys running around the neighborhood. It's Friendswood, man. Friendswood.
Dangerous.
Man. One thing about Friendswood, the cops around here, they ain't got nothing to do. You know what I mean? So if it's some criminal,
some of Friendswood's finest. Let's make because you know what Monday is.
What's that? What is
Monday is Booker T and Brad Gilmore Day in the city of Friendswood.
I knew you was gonna say that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. The cops out here, bro, they got everything on lock.
Right.
You can't. If you come through Friendswood and your license plate don't register, you going to jail.
Directly too.
That's what I like about it.
An expired license plate's the most action the Friendswood cops get.
I'm serious, man. So they had a bank robbery out here last year sometime, and they had everybody on the police force there.
all 11 of them.
All hands on deck.
All of them.
But no, man.
Why do the police do that though? I've always noticed that, and we have respect for all the good cops out there. But why does it like when there's a traffic stop, like somebody you get pulled over for running a red light or whatever, cops running your plates. Next thing you know, there's like boop boop, 3 or 4 of them pop up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all congregate. I don't know what the purpose of that is. I don't know if they think something's going to jump off or what, but they all get together.
Bro, I've been I've been on this earth a long time, and I've actually had some run-ins with the police before. In one situation, it was myself. I wish I had Nick Patrick on the show to vouch for me on this, but it was Nick Patrick and I guess we were somewhere like Alabama, somewhere in Georgia. I don't know. It was somewhere we shouldn't have been. And we got, pulled over by a police officer who was well across the median. And I'm not talking about just the median. I'm talking about like on the highway where it's a big, football field in between. You and the other side, and this cop came all the way across that football field, got behind us, pulled us over, and he said he pulled us over for not having a seatbelt on. It's no way that he would have been able to see that.
Wow.
And then he ended up taking us out of the car, and he said, can I search you? And I had a suit on, actually, slacks, and I was like, does it look like anything bulging? Why would you want to search me? And then next thing you know, it was my
shouldn't ask that question.
Well,
is that a gun in your pocket or?
Yeah. And then next thing you know, 3 more cars came up. One of them came up so fast he had to put the brakes on and slid into it like he was going into third base. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? Ended up walking away from that situation. Thank God. I know exactly what you're talking about. When one show up, next thing you know, you got 5 on the scene, and it's nothing no more than a person not having a seatbelt on.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm serious. That's all the stop was supposed to be about, was a seatbelt. But that's
Things happen.
At least that's what he said.
Things happen. So I don't know. I want to find out the conclusion to the saga that I witnessed earlier today. But you know what? You know, if I had a chopper like that, I wouldn't go looking for crime. I really would try to like take it to the woods somewhere and really. I feel like with one of those with the scope on it, you could finally find Bigfoot. You know what I mean? Like with all the tech we got now.
Come on, man. Let's not talk like that.
What?
I mean, I believe in aliens. Okay,
Me too.
I don't believe in Bigfoot.
No, look, Bigfoot was a real thing, though.
I mean,
Gigantopithecus.
A lot of people made a lot of money off of the myth of Bigfoot. Just like a lot of people have made money off of the Loch Ness monster. A lot of people have made money, just like Roswell, New Mexico, off of aliens. But certain things like just say for instance the swamp man. I don't believe in the swamp man. You know what I mean? That's just not something that I'm gonna really just fall into. Say I believe in that. Conspiracy theories like that. I'm just not going that route.
Was it? It may have been Dave Chappelle. There was some comedian. I can't remember who it was, but he was like, "Hey, you know what you don't see? Wait, what do you say? You know what you don't see when you're looking for Bigfoot? You don't see any black folks. You only see a bunch of old, undateable white dudes."
Bro, it's like going to Mount Everest.
Only white people climb Mount Everest?
How many brothers died on Mount Everest?
I don't think not a one.
Not one. You might have some Indian, who want to get adventurous, but you ain't gonna have nobody from the Zulu tribe.
You know what? One of my favorite stories ever that makes me laugh when I think of you. I think that we were at your house or we were at the radio station somewhere. I think it may have been at the station one night, and we were watching whatever they had on ESPN, and it was like a BMX challenge where they were going down the mountain.
Yeah.
You remember this?
Mountains, yeah.
And you look at me and you go, only white folk.
I'm serious. You looked at that whole scene, man. No brothers out there.
And there wasn't a one. There wasn't a one.
No brothers even filming it. You know what I mean?
They didn't even work on the crew.
No, I'm serious. You know what I mean? So when I see stuff like that, it blows me away. It blows me away because thrill seekers, jumping out of a plane, parachuting, that's cool. I get it.
Would you do that?
Under the right circumstances, I think I would parachute.
Yeah, I think so too.
Parachuting, that's something that I think that can be controlled. You have your chute, and then if that chute don't pop, you got what's called the lollipop. Your spare chute. I learned that watching one of these action flicks. I don't know if it's true or not.
We're gonna go with it though.
But but I don't know. I haven't heard of too many people dying doing skydiving. I haven't heard.
Well, what's his name? The former president of the United States, George H.W. Bush. He did skydiving on his 80th and 90th birthdays. Jumping out of a plane, he was fine.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't heard about too many people dying from skydiving. Now, climbing Mount Everest. It's been several people have died and lost, limbs and pieces from trying that, as well as a lot of just say for instance the great Wallendas. There's a lot of those family members have died trying to pull off, those stunts, and it just makes me wonder why. I don't care. Okay. You want to do it? It's cool. All right. But I just wonder why somebody want to actually put themselves in harm's way to die. You know what I mean? That's all. And you can die walking across the street. I get it.
You should.
I get it. Okay, I understand that. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to look both ways before you walk. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
This is Booker T World Gym Arena in Texas City, the home to the Reality of Wrestling Training Center. It's a 20,000 square foot facility with more than 50 full-time students and wrestlers from around the world. Inside the World Gym Arena sits a 9,000 square foot venue set up for weekly shows. From on top, 1-2 moonsault, where our students showcase their skills in front of a live audience.
What he's done here is awesome. He's created opportunity, and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
In the back, a full weight room.
6 up!
Complete with state-of-the-art equipment and personal trainers.
There you go. 2 more.
A full staff and office personnel.
One more.
Running the day-to-day operation. We have interview sets for TV production, promo classes, quarterly combines. We evaluate progression and team building. Referees, commentators, ring announcers, and live television production. At the World Gym Arena, we don't just teach you how to become a professional wrestler, but an elite sports entertainer. This is Reality of Wrestling.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We just doing it big. Hey, guys, I got a new show. If you guys off into independent wrestling, something that is really near and dear to my heart. I got a new show that's going to be kicking off probably next week, maybe the week after. It's in production right now as we speak. It's going to be coming to the Reality of Wrestling YouTube channel, which is getting so close to 500,000 subscribers. So I just want to thank for everybody for jumping on board. But we're going to be giving you guys something a little bit extra to check out on the Road YouTube channel coming in about a week or so. So guys, get ready. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. If you like independent wrestling, come on board with Booker T and Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what we have coming. The thing about this channel, which has been so cool, since we've gotten a larger audience, it's given us the ability to try more things out, right? Yeah. Doing this show on the channel live twice a week, something that we didn't do prior. We just put clips up. Now you can watch the whole show live. You can watch all Reality Wrestling episodes. Go back in the archive, see some classic content. I think we just put up a match a couple weeks ago that happened at PWA with Bobby Lashley. Back in the day, WWE champion, current champion. So this new show is something that I know you've kicked around for a while, and I'm excited for people to finally see this vision that you had, this idea that you had come to life. Because although independent wrestlers have been spotlighted in the past, it's more so of like when you talk about Samoa Joe, like you heard his name before you ever saw him work. I feel like since the pandemic hit and all those independents, Reality Wrestling included, had to take a siesta, had to take an extended break, unplanned break, a lot of the buzz some of these guys were having or starting to build, it's kind of diminished because they haven't been able to work anywhere. If you're not signed to WWE or AEW or Impact Wrestling, you're not working.
Yeah.
And now you're finally getting a chance to get back out there. So this is the perfect time to highlight some of those really, really awesome independent workers on the scene right now, worldwide.
I tell you, like I said, it's something I've been thinking about for a long time. I remember the first magazine I was in, and it had me in this little section with about, I don't know, maybe 7 other wrestlers, 4 on top, 4 on the bottom, and it said Rogues Gallery, GI Bro. And I was like, wow, man, I'm in the magazine.
I made it.
I was like so stoked that I was in the magazine, and I was getting what was called a rub. Somebody around the world, if they bought that magazine and opened it, they were going to see my picture, and it was a chance they could have said, and who is this guy? And then go and look me up. And then next thing you know, they liking me and following me, So that's what I think what we're going to be doing more importantly is about champagne wishes, caviar dreams, getting the rub from a 6-time world heavyweight champion, 2-time Hall of Famer. There again, guys, it ain't about me. And if you guys in the chat, man, if you guys there again, if you're off into independent wrestling and you got your independent star that you're following, hit us up and let us know who it is. And you might be seeing him real soon at a theater near you.
Yeah, I'm excited, and you never know when the next big guy is going to jump from the independents. I mean, all those guys who are killing it right now, for the most part, in WWE, from Kevin Owens to Sami Zayn to Seth Rollins, on the other side of the bracket, when you go to AEW, a lot of those guys, Young Bucks, obviously came up through the independents.
Think about a guy like Kevin Owens on the independent scene, 15 years.
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
Think about a guy like Bryan Danielson, now known as Daniel Bryan, guy that was on the independent scene for many, many years. CM Punk.
Yeah.
Guy that was on the independent scene for a very, very long time. So I think you guys are going to like what you see. And more importantly, we're going to have some fun here at Reality Wrestling. In the news today, man, Bill Cosby is formerly known as America's favorite dad. Now, they kicked him out. They said the judge said, hey, pack your grip. You're out of here. You go home. What do you think about it? 80 years old, man? Did you think Bill Cosby, first of all, should have been in prison? I know that's a tough question.
It is tough. It is tough.
I know that's a tough question.
Let me tell you why it's tough, though, because, of his advanced age. But at the same time, I don't think that excuses you of being punished for the crimes you committed. Now, I'm one of the people who, when I listen to all the witness testimony, I remember following that case a lot. It definitely seemed as though the man that we call Bill Cosby was indubitably guilty of what he was charged with.
Yeah.
I mean, I even remember seeing this interview that he did with Larry King where he was talking about Spanish Fly. He's like, Spanish Fly, Larry? You put a little in the drink and the girl becomes yours and stuff like that. So obviously this guy had predatory behavior. It is weird seeing somebody of that age who I think, isn't he blind or something like that too? Like legally blind?
I think he's partially blind.
Partially blind, legally blind.
That means he can see when he wants to.
I mean, but I mean, at the end of the day, it is a tough question. I do believe that he needed to be punished in whatever way the state saw fit. They saw imprisonment the way to go, so he was in prison. Now, I'm a little confused on why he got out. So is it a technicality? They're giving him like a new trial or something?
I heard the prosecutor that had the case before had promised him a deal that the second prosecutor did not uphold, and that right there violated his rights and whatnot. I could be wrong, but it's something.
That sounds right.
It's something to that nature right there. I thought Bill Cosby should have been punished. I just thought the statute of limitations in this case well ran out, and I just thought it should have been a civil case, and he should have gave up a whole lot of money to these women and made their lives a whole lot better as far as that go, because nothing is going to change it. Putting him in prison, that wasn't going to change what happened or anything like that, but making him pay for it monetarily, I think normally hitting the person in their pocket is a whole lot, lot better than, locking them up. I was just looking at this case just a couple of days ago, and I can't remember the names or whatever, and it doesn't really matter. But the guy got the death penalty, and he had killed, so many people, and they say they put him on the table. Actually, with the it was the DC Sniper. They say they put him on the table, and he laid there, and he took it like it was nothing. And one of the people that had lost life just said, that was just too damn easy. Just too easy. You know what I mean? So totally understand.
Yeah. I think that I think that again, he should have been punished, and I think imprisonment. The state they thought that was the right thing. I see what you're saying by giving some monetary gains to the victims that may have been more beneficial for
I
them
don't
in
think
one way or
putting him in
another.
prison was, I just thought he should have lost a whole lot. And putting an 80-year-old man in prison, just say putting him. I see a lot of these guys, just say for instance, I look at a lot of these stories about crime and whatnot. Guy finally get caught after 30 years. He get the death penalty. And they put him in prison on death row, and within 8 months, he died of a heart attack.
Right, yeah.
Is that justice?
I don't know.
Thought he was going to die in 8 months anyway.
Right.
So.
But I guess it's the satisfaction for the victims or the family of the victims for seeing him have his freedom taken away. And that's what I get with the Bill Cosby thing. I mean, again, I think that prison was probably the right way to. I mean, it was the right way to go. That's what the state decided. But is he out for good, or are they going to have another trial?
He's out for good. They say he can't be retried or anything. He's done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's it was supposed. I think it was a 10-year sentence, and I think the sentence was suspended.
Oh, okay. Because he served about what, 2 years, 3 years, something like that.
He served a couple of years. I mean, 3 hots and a cot. I mean, come on. I mean,
what does that mean?
I forgot you ain't never been in jail before.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't.
3 meals and a
3
bed.
hots.
Yeah,
okay, and a cot. I get it. A day. You get 3 meals a day.
Yeah,
you
3
sleep
meals
on a cot.
And you got a bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
3 hots.
3 hots and a cot.
Yeah, that's the term when you go in. Yeah.
I just learned something today.
That's a shame, man. You never heard that term before.
I never heard 3 hots and a cot.
Wow, man.
But I love it. I mean, I don't love it, but it's funny.
You want
It's
to
entertaining. I don't want to try it. No. What's crazy today, I don't know if you know anything about this, but there's a show I used to watch back in the day called Smallville, and the actress on Smallville, she just got sentenced today because she was a part of like this sex ring that would like bring people in and brainwash them. It was crazy. Wow. Her name was Allison Mack. She got sentenced to 3 years today. 3 years today.
Sex ring. I mean, what kind of sex ring was it?
It was some sort of indoctrination to where they kind of, it's cultish. They brainwash you and then
wait a minute. We got to take a break and we got to talk about this. Okay. This news. When we get news like this, we definitely got to talk about it. We got to talk about some stuff that went down over the weekend as well, like Vasily Lomachenko made his return, as well as we got a lot. We got a lot to talk about. So stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer, and this is for all up-and-coming professional wrestlers, male and female. You want to know the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts. You got a question, I got the answer. If you want to know how, join my masterclass. Go to realityofwrestling.com for all the information. Starting on Thursday and every Thursday after that, guys. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. And I know you can dig that.
The Academy.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Brad was just curing me in on somebody that plays on Smallville, which is kind of like that superhero show, right?
It was back in the day. It's been off the air for a while.
I remember
she was a big character on it, and so her name's Allison Mack, former Smallville actress. I'm reading this from CNN. She was a high-ranking member of the cult-like group NXIVM. And was sentenced to 3 years in prison today. And paid a $20 fine. And then so she was arrested in 2018 with the guy who started it. and they were convicted on racketeering charges. He was sentenced. The guy who started it, Keith Rainier, was sentenced to, get this, 120 years in prison for all the crimes that he
just
committed.
got 3.
She got 3. She got 3, so she kind of got off easy on this one.
Yeah, definitely, man. I don't know. Was it the deal after Smallville? She wasn't getting booked or whatever, and she had to, switch gears.
Apparently, so there's a guy named Michael Rosenbaum who was he was the guy who played Lex Luthor on the show, and he said that he even remembers back then she would bring this stuff up, right? Even back when she was on the show.
Yeah.
So apparently, it was something that she kind of got off into, like people do. Maybe it was. She thought it was a beneficial thing. I'm not exactly sure what her story is, but I know it was a sex ring and cult, and they did all kinds of crazy indoctrination and brainwashing, keeping people against their will, allegedly, and all these things. So she was kind of into that while she was on the show. But on the show, she was like the goodiest of good girl, right? And she pulled that roll off effortlessly. So, what a weird person. You know what I mean?
Man,
people are odd people.
I think I've been like really, really naive going through life.
Okay, apparently it's called Nexium. Nexium.
Okay.
I thought that was a drug for antacid, but nevertheless.
It is actually. And I think I've been really naive through life as far as the male and the female go. I don't know. I try to give the female the benefit of the doubt most of the time. It's like you walk in the club, right?
Right.
You don't think the woman that's over in the cut is thinking, man, I'm gonna hit that. That's
you don't think that, no.
That's not the way you want to think about females. But
Right.
is it that way? Is that the way it really is?
Well, I don't know. I think that both
I
men
need
and
a
women.
female's perspective on something like this. As far as do women, because just say for instance, bank robbery. It's more male bank robbers than female bank robbers.
I would say that's probably true.
It's more male serial killers than female serial killers.
I would say that's true as well.
So I'm just saying, but not that women don't do it, like Eileen Wuornos. And she was just as OG as any man you saw walking around on the street, in a lot of ways. So it just makes me wonder, man. It just makes me wonder when I hear something like that, a female being a part of a sex ring operation,
Crazy,
and not having a problem with it, being a one that perhaps may be a mother one day. That's the way I think. And I could just be, you can call me soft. You know what I mean? Booker soft, man. You don't know so I'm just curious about things like that when I hear about things like that.
Yeah, apparently they did. According to DA Myth ASAP in our chat, according to him, they did an HBO series about this whole ring. So I'm gonna have to watch that so I can get a little bit more informed.
See, we got somebody in the chat, man, putting us up on game. I appreciate it.
Me too. Yeah, I think it's just. I just think that people are sick, man. Like in general. You know what I mean? Like, I don't wake up ever. Like, I've never woke up a day in my life thinking I'm going to do something that's going to harm another person today, right? It's like never been in my head, right?
You never had an accountant.
But I've never operated in my life thinking, you know what? By the end of today, I'm going to be getting 3 hots and a cot for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never operated in that mindset. But apparently people suck sometimes. And you know what? That's why we have the crime and punishment, and you can't hold people against their will. It's like the whole Bernie Spears thing, right? That now I'm hearing they're investigating her claims. They're going to look into her dad to see if he really was doing all the things that she did. They definitely should. They absolutely should. They absolutely should. People should not have to have their happiness and freedom taken away from them unless they do some sort of crime that warrants it, right?
I totally agree. Agree.
I totally agree, too.
Yeah.
Well, I said it, so of course I agree with myself, but nevertheless. But here's the other thing. Can I say this, too?
Yeah.
I strongly believe in this. if you do a crime, no matter what it is, they give you a sentence, you serve that sentence, you get out, everything should go back to the way it was before.
No, it shouldn't.
I know. I think it should.
No, you know why I feel that way? Because when you go to prison, right?
Sure.
You know, according to what it is, you're a criminal. All right.
Right.
You are not to be trusted. You're not to be trusted. And when and I just feel like,
but you can earn that trust back.
Well, that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to think that they're going to go to prison and then get out and expect for everything to go back to normal, because that's just not the way it is. Because when you go apply for a job and you put, have you ever been convicted of a crime, and that you got to mark that box, they're gonna look at you differently no matter what you think. And if you don't think that, marking that box, could harm you, you're thinking the wrong way. But if you're thinking, I'm going to mark this box and I'm going to answer all the questions that's coming towards me, and I'm going to earn that respect from this person, then you got something to work with. But if you just think everything is going to go back to normal when you come out, and because it should, it's not.
Well, no, I don't think that. I don't think it should all go back to normal when you get out. I think that, like, your rights that were taken away should be reverted back to you. As far as the state's concerned or the country's concerned, you've done what you were supposed. Look, we're taking these away from you for this designated time. It's like being put in timeout.
Yeah.
You can't play with your video games until you serve this timeout, right? And then when you get out, okay, you've served the time. Here are all those rights back that we took away for that period. Now you get them all back.
Different to somebody went shot up something and they took his guns away, and they say, all right, you get out, we're going to give your guns back to you. You believe that?
That's a good point. It's a good point. But if his sentencing did what it was supposed to do, it's supposed to rehabilitate you, right?
No, prison is not a place for rehabilitation.
But isn't it supposed to be?
But it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess it's true.
Yeah,
I would just like to think that you should be able to.
Well, I would like to think that too. I really would
point.
like to think that. But I just think in certain situations, just like such as a pedophile,
Right, well,
and then he come out, just because he served his crime, don't think that he's not going to do it again.
You're right.
He's not.
You're right. I think I'm wrong on this one. I'm wrong on this one.
Of course you are. I mean,
don't of course me. I'm just saying, like, I would just like to think, I guess I'm living in a perfect world.
No, you are. You know what? And trust me, I get it. I understand that.
Yeah.
But let's switch gears. Fight night went down this weekend. Cyril Yun fought Alexander Volkov and got a unanimous decision. It wasn't a knockout or anything like that, but Yun controlled the fight. The whole fight. Volkanovski seemed like he was in a place that perhaps, uncomfortable. Let's just say that. And this guy, Cyril, he's different than most heavyweights. I don't know what it is about him. He's going to have to get in there with the elite and show me a little bit more. And just coming off of the press clippings over the weekend, he's going to have that chance. You'll see 265 against Derek Lewis. Why does Derek Lewis have to keep proving himself? That's my question, man. Why do Derek Lewis keep getting put in situations to where he has to go out and beat some guy who is, they're touting to be the next guy to actually get that shot? I don't know. But, what do you think about Celia fight with Volkanovski, first of all, as well as what he's got coming up at 265 with the Black Beast?
Well, yeah, I mean, him and Volkov went out there, and they definitely had a good heavyweight scrap. This is a guy who I don't remember seeing Volkov fight after his loss to Lewis. I think he did. No, he fought one other time, and he lost that fight too, right? He got knocked out, I believe. It was, I think, a Fight Pass show or something like that.
Yeah.
But,
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, to Yuri something or another. I can't remember the guy's name. But he went out there and he lost for the third time in a row, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how much stock is left in Volkov. And we got to break down, though, this Derek Lewis thing. Because Derek Lewis earned his heavyweight title shot, and he's getting a heavyweight title shot, sorta, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to be fighting in Houston on the 7th of August for the interim heavyweight championship of the world, which I don't really understand how we got here.
No, tell me, because I'm still baffled. Is Francis Ngannou hurt?
No.
Um, well, I'm just trying to figure out why are we having an interim fight? Is it that Francis Ngannou don't want to fight?
So I know from what I know, Francis said, I'll fight Derek in September. I'll be ready by September. I'm not going to be ready by August. And then the promotion said, well, we're doing the fight in August in Houston. He said, well, I'm not going to be ready by that. So they said, okay, you're out of the fight. We're going to make it an interim title fight with Derek Lewis.
That's a problem.
I don't like that at all.
That's a problem. Doing something like that just because a guy's Francis Ngannou is the champion.
Absolutely.
Francis
He just won the title in what, March?
No, that's what I'm saying. Francis Ngannou worked his ass off to become champion, and then all of a sudden, because he's not ready to perform 1 month earlier than you want him. I mean, come on. There again, the UFC always seems to pull this with certain people. Okay, and I hate to pull the card on the UFC or anything like that. But if this was, if this was anybody else, this would not be happening.
Conor, Habib.
If this was anybody else, this would not be happening. But it being Francis Ngannou, a guy who I don't know how many people is really backing Francis Ngannou and really want Francis Ngannou to be the champion. I don't know what kind of buy rate Francis Ngannou get from Africa when he goes out and perform. And I know one thing about the UFC, they look at stats like that as far as guys being in that position, being the heavyweight champion, the guy that's going to be pulling the ratings in this division. And I really don't think Francis Ngannou is the guy that they really want to see as the champion. And if they can get the title off of him, they would rather do that. To have a guy like Cyril, a guy that's a Brazilian, a guy that's, the buy rate is going to be up when this guy go out and fight. You want that. Derek Lewis is a guy who shouldn't be fighting Cyril Young in an interim fight, because an interim fight is only going to lead to one more thing: having to fight the real champion, which is Francis Ngannou. Right. Now, I don't know if this is just a money grab for the UFC, or is it to put Cyril Young in a place to where he can get that title shot and upend Francis Ngannou, and we keep the gravy train rolling. That's what I don't like about the UFC. I love the sport. I love these guys, being able to get opportunities to perform, feed their families and whatnot. But when it becomes a game like this, I just don't like the look of it. Guys, we got to take a break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Almost at 20 years doing this. It's crazy. We've seen so much. We started just to, give young people a place to actually be able to get their foot in the business, the beginning, the right way. I always say, give them a springboard. The rest is going to be up to them. The ones that's got the talent, we're going to push them to the next level. But we never thought about, the promotion side until it actually happened. Give Kevin Bernhardt, so much credit, because Kevin been here, since day one, just like Abel been here since day one, and Kevin, he realized how we started, when putting the video together, and
it looked so bad. It was just the worst thing you ever want to see. But I'm serious. No, but we had to start somewhere, and we just kept going. Kevin just kept getting better and better and better. And I look at, just the packages, and everything that we've done here tonight. 16 years later, we have grown. Reality of wrestling has definitely grown. But I must say, it's going to get bigger. We said 2020 was going to be our year. Of course, the pandemic hit. But we still continue to build. 2021 is going to be that year for us. But we cannot forget about 2020 and the reality of wrestling. Male Star of the Year. And the nominees are.
Boom.
Yeah, man. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Just talking Derek Lewis versus Cyril Young coming up UFC 265. You know what? I'm looking forward to it. Young is going to be tested in this fight. Derek Lewis, one thing about him, Derek Lewis' game has come up since becoming a UFC fighter. In the beginning, he was just a guy that went out and swinging big shots. Would get gas. I'm always thinking about his wrestling game. But I must say Derek Lewis has put in the work, and he's become a much more well-rounded, complete UFC fighter. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what Young has. And if I'm betting on somebody, I'm betting on the Black Beast from H-Town to go out there and put that boy down.
Yeah, I'm going to be rooting for Derek Lewis, and I think that he probably would be the favorite going into that fight. I would assume that he'd be the favorite. But going back to the situation with him and Francis, look, here's the thing. I don't know if I agree that the UFC doesn't want Francis Ngannou to be the next big star. I do think that they want that. But I think that they want it on their terms, right? I think that they say, okay, look, man, we're going to make you the guy, but you need to be ready whenever we call you to make these fights happen. Because Francis Ngannou, I just saw Francis. He was just in a movie. He was in Fast and Furious 9. I just saw it 2 days ago. Francis Ngannou's in that. So that's a good look for the UFC. Hey, UFC heavyweight champion's in the #1 movie in the world right now. That's a good look. I don't think that they would want to jeopardize.
Even more so, not to treat him like that, because you got.
I agree.
You got a guy. I was just looking at on ESPN.
Yeah.
Just last night, maybe a night and a half ago, whatever. And it was the UFC's top 10 personalities. Okay. Top 10 personalities.
Okay.
And they have 0 personalities on the UFC top 10 personalities from today. Now you got a guy like Francis Ngannou, who has skyrocketed his way to the top of the heavyweight division in the UFC, even parlayed himself to get to the biggest movie of the year. And he can't make you can't make it happen 1 month prior to him being in that fight, or not now, not just being in the fight. Okay, give Cyril Young and Derek Lewis a fight. But why make it the interim championship? That's only to throw something at Francis Ngannou. That has nothing to do with anybody else other than Francis Ngannou. Those guys could still be fighting. But to make that an interim championship fight, it belittles the work that he's put in and him being the heavyweight champion. That's what I'm talking about.
I agree with that whole 1,000%. I've said for a long time, I can't stand interim titles. Unless the champion is injured and he's going to be out for an extended period of time, I can't stand interim championships. I think the only reason this is an interim title fight is because this was the date that they wanted the fight to happen. It was going to be Derek Lewis. Dana White said Derek Lewis is getting the next shot, and they don't want to punish Derek Lewis because they can't make the fight on that date. So they say, you know what? We promised you a title match. Here's a title match. Now, does it make it right or wrong? I don't know. I think they're trying to do right by Derek Lewis, but in doing that, they do their champion, Francis Ngannou, a great disservice. Especially, it's not like he said, I don't want to fight till next year. He said, give me 30 more days, right?
Yeah.
Just give me till September. I'll be ready to go.
As well as he could be the next big thing. He could be the next star. Like I say, getting in a movie like Fast and Furious, that's huge.
Massive.
You could tell he's working on more than just, being a fighter. And I think that's what's missing in the UFC, guys becoming stars. Like the Chuck Liddells back in the day, the TRTs, who are they going to be talking about, in 10 years from now and doing specials on as far as guys because of their star power and what they brought to the game, more so than here go two guys that had a great fight trilogy, and that's what it's all about. Come on. The star power is what made the business what it is today. The Chuck Liddells, Tito Ortizes of the world, they are the guys that put that sport on the map, and they were stars. And the thing is, those guys, Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, they come in the building today, they're going to get a bigger pop than all of those guys are going to get walking out of the curtain. That's a problem.
Right. Now, thinking about like Francis Ngannou defended or won the championship in March of this year, right? So fighting in August, that's only what, a 5-month layoff? A little less than 5 months because he won in late March, so almost April. So it's less than a 5-month layoff. It's about 4.5. Listen to this though. Stipe Miocic, who I think is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, this is how frequently he defended the title. He fought Daniel Cormier in July of 2018, didn't fight again till August of 2019, and then didn't fight again until August of 2020. He had a year layoff between every fight.
Well,
and they won't get Francis 4 months?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I could be wrong about my theory, but I just don't think I am. I just don't think putting Francis Ngannou in a position like this when he just won the championship to make him look bad by having an interim championship like he's dead.
I agree.
Like he's got an injury that he's not going to heal for another 2 years. Come on, I just think it's wrong. It's a bad look, and I don't agree with it. I just don't.
Either.
And I just think if this was a lot of other fighters, especially if this was a Conor McGregor, this would not be happening. It just would not be happening. And that's just my opinion on that. And I could be wrong, but let's move on. Vasily Lomachenko. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What you got?
Well, I was just going to ask one more question on it. Do you think that, from what I said, do you think that they made this an interim title fight just to throw Derek Lewis a bone? Is that the only reason?
You know what? Honestly,
because you're right. They could have just made it a regular fight.
Honestly, throwing Derek Lewis an interim championship that doesn't really mean anything when he's going to have to fight the champion anyway. It doesn't really strike me to mean a whole lot. Now, I think if I'm Derek Lewis, I say throw me an extra, 100,000.
Couple 100,000.
Exactly. And then we'll be making it right. Throwing me a piece of 10 that doesn't mean anything, and I'm still going to have to fight the guy anyway. And when I do fight this guy, this interim championship is still not going to mean anything. What the hell is it for? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So saying that, in saying that, UFC throwing Derek Lewis a bone? No, come on. I
will say this. I
think it may appear that way, but I just don't. I don't know.
The only way that this works out for everybody, Derek, UFC, and Francis included, is if Derek goes out there and wins the title, it will make Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou for the undisputed heavyweight championship all that much bigger of a fight, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, you just put Derek Lewis in a position where he can lose this fight before he ever get a chance the real title. That's what I'm saying.
They need to pay him like he's fighting Francis.
Exactly. That's why I say it's just a bad look. Derek Lewis going in this fight against Cyril because he has a big chance at losing this fight. This guy's good. And if he loses this fight, it drops him down. It just knocks him right back down the ladder after he's put in so much work. And I just think, for me, I just think it's wrong. I just think it's wrong for Derek Lewis to have climbed that ladder and got all the way to the top rung, and then you throw an obstacle in his way for him to have to go over, and it's just not right.
Should Derek Derek have turned the fight down and said, I'm not fighting until I fight Francis?
You remember we had Derek Lewis on the show.
Yeah.
I really believe Derek Lewis believed in everything that he said the first time we had him on. And Derek Lewis said, man, I'm not really thinking about no titles or anything like that. I just want to pay for my house. All right. And Derek Lewis seemed like that type of dude.
Yeah.
Derek Lewis not finna turn down a fight, because turning down a fight is turning down some money. Okay. So I just don't see Derek Lewis saying, yeah, I'll pass up on this to get to the title, because Derek Lewis said it with us. It's not about the title, more so about getting the check and paying for that house. So that's just the way I see that.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out. It's going to be in Houston, so I'm sure that you and I will be there, and we'll see if there's any other things that break in this story moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. I know we got to take a break, but Vasily Lomachenko made his return to the square circle this weekend. Top Rank versus Japanese fighter Nakatani, fighting at 135. And what a knockdown, drag out fight. Lomachenko trying to get back to the championship at 135. The newly crowned king of the division, Teofimo Lopez, is the guy that everybody is looking to get a piece of. But I tell you, Lomachenko, is he still truly the Matrix? That's what we got to talk about more than anything. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
And that's a stunning elbow to the face. Oh, and look at this. She just raking Angela's face across the middle. Oh, my goodness. That's hard to watch.
Oh, man, what is she thinking?
Oh, no. Top rope suplex. Superplex from the champion. If enough damage hasn't been done already to Angela, that has got to be the exclamation point. She's looking for the 450. From the top rope. She's calling for shooting star press. Star press. Shooting star press cover. 1, 2, 3.
Shook. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I see we got people with us all the way from the Philippines, man.
Hey.
Thailand. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We appreciate you guys for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes and your caviar dreams. We appreciate it, man.
We love the people of the Philippines, by the way. You know, I mean, I will always have love for the people from the Philippines. When we went to the Manny Pacquiao fight, and I think we had almost the entire country of the Philippines was in the building that night, and they represented for their man, and he went out there and he rocked the house.
I was so mad, man. I was so mad. I wanted to knock one of them suckers out, screaming in my ear. My ear is still buzzing. It's still ringing.
Well, we had about an 88-year-old Filipino gentleman just going pop, 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 pop all night.
Man,
all night.
I swear, man, they were so happy. I never seen people so happy.
I was happy too.
I was happy too, even though my boy went in there and slipped on a banana peel against Pacquiao that night. But Keith Thurman. But I definitely had such a great night, even in defeat. It was a great night.
Yeah, it was fun.
It wasn't like when Deontay Wilder lost.
Yeah, that was
when they took over the hotel. All the British took over the hotel, and we took.
Tyson Fury.
We left town that night. I didn't even want to go back to my room.
We did.
I was like, just go straight to the airport.
we sure did.
We didn't even go back to the hotel.
We didn't even go to the room. We actually just went to the room, grabbed the bag, and then went straight to the airport.
That dude's
my
gonna be a
favorite
long
part of that night is, Sweet Caroline played and everybody lost their mind except for you. You remember that? You did not like Sweet Caroline, and you're sitting there with the stone
Hey
face.
man,
Peter
hey,
Rosenberg
man.
was there filming you.
Hey, but guess what? They're getting ready to run it back.
I know.
All right.
The trilogy.
Wilder Fury 3. They're getting ready to
How do you
run
feel
it
about
back. And you know what? I'm loving it. I'm hoping Deontay Wilder got his head right. Hope he ain't thinking about coming out there with some damn 50-pound costume on where he can blame that. Talking about his legs were shaky. Get in the gym. Get on the squat rack. All right. Get on the leg press, leg curls. It's all you guys should do for that. The rest of it I can't help you with. Slipping the right hand, ducking and whatever. I can't, that ain't my department. But getting in the gym and working on the legs, that's very, very simple. Get you some protein and go to work. But
Yeah.
the first fight, it was pretty much a draw. Second fight, Wilder got the hell beat out of him. I'm wondering if Deontay Wilder can find something and come back and make this a different fight. I'm wondering. And I want to see if he can make, as well as I hope it's in Vegas so I go to be one. Get me some of that good food. But
It will be in Vegas.
But I'm wondering if Deontay Wilder can, redeem himself and go out there and find a formula that's going to fit to going out there and beating, Tyson Fury. I don't know, man. I don't know. Tyson Fury got a skill set, and I just don't know if Deontay Wilder is able to make that jump, make that leap in such a short amount of time. I just don't see it. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's been about a year since their last encounter, and I will say this. Their first fight was close. It was very close. I did think that Tyson Fury won that on points, but I can understand why, if I was a judge and I saw that 12th round knockdown from Deontay Wilder, how that might sway me into saying, oh, maybe it's more of a draw. So I can get by that. This one, the second fight, I was just impressed from this standpoint of Tyson Fury that he told everybody what he was going to do before he did it. And then he went out there and executed it to perfection. He said, I'm going to be the aggressor. I'm going to go right after him. He's not going to know what to do, and I'm going to knock him out.
Well, I do know this.
That's what he did.
I do know this. I really feel like we see the exact same fight we saw last time. If Deontay Wilder don't come in the ring at least 20 pounds heavier.
And how do you think that would make Tyson Fury respect that great equalizer that he has a little bit more?
I know I was much stronger at 230 than I was at 210. I know I was much stronger at 240 than I was at 230 because I was working harder to get to 240. I was working, it took me a lot, to get up to 240 pounds. I had to get in the gym. I had to eat 5 times a day. I had to do a whole lot to actually do that. And I knew as I was doing it, I couldn't help but get stronger. It's just, common sense.
Right.
If that happens. And I just feel like Deontay Wilder at 6'5" tall, at 230, he's just too small of a man to deal with somebody 260, 270, and bigger and taller. So I just feel like he's going to have to put on some weight in order to be able to go out there and move Tyson Fury around more than anything. Is his boxing going to get better with him getting heavier? Probably not. But I just think that's the only equalizer that Deontay Wilder is going to have going into that fight.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have to do that, and I don't think anyone would disagree with the fact that Tyson Fury is technically a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. He's more skilled in the art of pugilism. Deontay Wilder has always had that incredible knockout power. I don't think I'll ever forget being on the floor for that fight at the MGM Grand against King Kong Ortiz. And I mean, Deontay Wilder knocked him out by punching him in the forehead.
It was
Right?
all shot, and it
Not
was
in the
you could hear
jaw.
It was like somebody. It was like a shotgun went off around the arena. You could hear it like that. It was like a firecracker, one of those big ones. Pow!
Crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely a shot heard around the arena.
So if you can do that, you can win any fight that you're in, right? You can win any fight that you're in if you can do that. If you have that much power, if you can eject that rocket at any moment, you can win any fight. I think that Tyson Fury, though, obviously he's the only one who's ever beaten him. He just did an incredible job at neutralizing that. So I'll be interested to see how these two match up and what what Wilder's worked on in the year that they've been off, because he's gone through some, changes in his camp. Yeah. So hopefully, whatever changes he made were for the better and not.
I say that too, as far as being a big guy like that, and not being the fastest guy in the world. I look at George Foreman. Not George Foreman in his first career, but it's George Foreman in his second career. George was slower than everybody that he fought, but those big shots that George would hit, those guys would literally make those guys wilter. They would fold. I remember one guy by the name of Bert Cooper fought George Foreman in his comeback and his return, and after about 3 or 4 rounds, Bert Cooper went back to his corner and said, "I'm done." He said, I just can't take no more of them big shots. I mean, and that right there, no, I'm serious. That's what I feel like Deontay Wilder, he already has an abundance amount of power. He's explosive, with that right hand. And to be able to add some weight behind that right hand, no matter, how slow it is, if it touches you, he could get you up out of there. And that's my theory of Deontay Wilder coming in to this fight against Tyson Fury and getting a victory. That's the only way he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. It's July the 24th, I believe, from the stadium out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. It'll be going down. So hopefully we're there. Like, I'm just hoping and praying that we can see that fight in person again.
Yeah. We were just talking about Lomachenko, Nakatani went down this weekend. I don't know if you guys saw it, Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. Lomachenko's back, but the thing is, this Japanese kid took Lomachenko 9 rounds. I don't know if Loma was just warming up, trying to get his sea legs back after the fight with Teofimo Lopez, where he lost every one of his championships. Bad night for him. But from what I saw, Lomachenko perhaps may not be the Matrix, 2.0 like we saw once before. This might be a different guy. I don't know if his, Father Time catches up with everyone. That's just the way it is. Did Lomachenko look good? Yeah, he looked good. Did Lomachenko look great? No, I don't think he looked great against Nakatani. And taking him 9 rounds there again, he could have been doing it just to, get back in the game. But normally boxers don't work by the hour. You know what I mean? Go in there and get that guy out of there. So I don't know. Lomachenko's back, and hopefully he'll get that shot with Teofimo Lopez after the mandatory Teofimo Lopez has to have, and they can run it back one more time. But if they do run it back, Lopez versus Lomachenko, I will have my money on the young man, Teofimo Lopez, for the victory. Guys, you're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
It's been a while since I've been in the ring. A while since I've tested myself in combat. But life is a test, and the only luck is preparation. Question is, am I prepared? Well, I can't answer that question until the time comes. But I remember when I first got in this business, it was like deja vu. It was like a place that I had been before. It was like second nature, something that I was just meant to do.
Yo, Rex, I don't know what's going on with you, man. I've done nothing but try to help you.
I want the 5-time champ. I want the guy you used to be. If you want to see this championship back in this ring, Booker T, try and come take it from me. Step up, Booker. You got no options left. I want the guy you used to be.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Hey man, I see we got super chat, man. I see we got super chat.
Super chat.
Yeah,
All right, you want me to take it right now?
Let's take it, man. Let's take it.
All right, this is $5 from SS9 Vegeta intro _ tainment. Hey Booker, did you and Dave Batista get into a real fight?
You know, what's crazy is so many people always ask me about that. Everywhere I go, people always ask about me and Dave getting into a fight. And the way I always answer that is, yeah, we got into a squam. Okay, let's just say that. But, you know, have you ever gotten to it with your coworker, especially if it's a lot of men around? I mean, just say, for instance, you know, you're on a football team, and next thing you know, you're in the huddle, and then they, you know, somebody break out in the huddle because people not getting along. In a business where there's a lot of testosterone going around, everybody want to be the guy on top. It's gonna be some friction a lot of times, but it was no big deal or anything like that. And I you know, wish nothing but the best for Dave Batista and everything that he's doing, man. The dude is, you know, he broke away from the business. He's been doing it big. So nothing but big up for Big Dave and everything he's doing. But yeah, man, every time, once in a while, you get into it with a coworker.
It happens. Stuff like that's going to happen. And like you said, it's a more physical business than most.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's the way that you dress. I mean, remember, it was a couple years ago, Jorge Masvidal was doing his post-match interview behind the scenes, and then he and Leon Edwards, remember they got into that altercation backstage?
Exactly.
Like on camera. That one was on camera. But, you know, that's just sometimes those things happen. So I know that you and Dave have pieced it up. That's way old news. And didn't you say last time y'all saw each other, y'all gave each other a big hug and kept it moving, right?
Every time, man. I mean, if I saw him, you know, today, you know, what up, talk? You know, give me a role in one of them movies. You know what I'm saying? It's like that with me. You know, no ill will towards the brother. See, we got another one, man. What's that? What is that?
Josh in Jesus wants to know, did you ever work power combos on Bob?
Who is Bob?
I don't know what that means.
And what is a power combo?
I don't know. I hope we're not saying something that we can't say on the air. I don't I don't know what that means.
I don't know what a power combo is, and I don't know who Bob is. You know, first we got to figure that out. But AIM661, he just got to my heart talking about George Foreman versus Ron Lyle back in, I think that was 1975, if I'm not mistaken, 74, 75 or something like that, man. What a great fight, man. I mean, you know, Ron Lyle went down like, you know, 4 or 5 times. George Foreman went down like 4 or 5 times. And then George finally got the big KO. What a fight, man. What a fight. You go pull that up on YouTube.
1976.
76, I knew it was somewhere in there. Check that fight out. I think George Foreman retired shortly after that fight right there and became a preacher. Good God. That Ron Lyle wasn't no joke, man. But no, man, big ups. Appreciate you for taking me back right there.
So I remember, you know, going back to the Dave story, I remember we talked about that when we did our live show in Hollywood, California. And one of our guests that night was a man who had a different moniker back then. He was known as Eli Drake. He's now known as L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
He works for the NXT brand. And I wanted to ask you about this because I know that there's so much wrestling. It's hard to follow everything that's going on all the time. But L.A. Knight was just in this feud where the $1 Million Man was involved, Ted DiBiase. In an NXT TakeOver, L.A. Knight became the brand new $1 Million champion. You know, the $1 Million Championship is back in wrestling. I wanted to ask you just what do you think of the $1 Million title, and what do you think of like kind of custom titles for guys to kind of remember Taz had the FTW title, now Brian Cage has that FTW title. It's not really a championship, but it is a championship. Do you think those are do you think that they can be useful to help get a guy to the next level, or do you think that they're kind of I don't know, more gimmicky than anything?
Speaking from experience, like when I went to TNA and they made me the Legends title.
Beautiful title.
It was a beautiful title. I never defended it anywhere against anyone. So it really didn't mean anything. I didn't even know why I had it. I didn't know why it was presented to me. No one came to me with the storyline and said, hey, no, I'm dead serious.
I know. I just love this story.
I just got to work one day and they said, hey, this is going to be for you. I'm like, all right, cool. But for me, thinking as a wrestler, I'm thinking, why? Not like somebody that's marking out and saying, man, I got a new title and they just gave me something really cool. They can't wait to go through the airport with it and show everybody. That, I wasn't thinking like that. So, and I never did anything with it. Then I remember when I lost it in a house show that I never worked in. And I didn't even know why I lost it. So I don't know if titles like that are good unless you utilize them for some reason.
Like, what'd you think of the $1 Million Championship? Like as an idea, like
well,
I think for go ahead. I was gonna say for the $1 Million Man, it made a lot of sense.
Well,
right?
for the $1 Million Man, it made a lot of sense because he was a millionaire. Well, you don't want to give me the title, the heavyweight champion. I'll buy my own.
Right.
And I'll make it better than anything that you guys ever had. It's worth $1 million. What are your title worth? So it's a talking point for the $1 million man. For Eli Drake being the new $1 million champion, he's playing a role. One thing about Eli Drake, he plays the part very well. He has the nice shades on. He doesn't come out looking like a bum or anything like that. I think if you saw L.A. Knight walking through the airport, you would think he was somebody.
Right.
All right. So him playing that role, I can see that. How they play it out going forward. I think that's going to be the linchpin as far as how far that thing goes. But I think someone like Eli Drake, L.A. Knight, is the perfect person to actually take that mantle and be able to run with it. Just because, like a guy told me once before, you got to be champion in the ring and out of the ring all the time.
Yeah.
Props, God rest his soul. Tiger Conway Jr. Told me that back in the day, and I believe that. So yeah, I think L.A. Knight could take it.
Yeah, I think that it's when you have those custom titles or those titles that really don't have a lineage, like the $1 Million Championship or the FTW Championship or the Legends title or whatever. They have to have a story behind them and an end goal in mind, right? You just can't make somebody the champion. Or they make their own title, and there's not something that's going to happen at the end, right? There needs to be an end goal in mind. And with L.A. Knight, I do agree. When he walked, I wasn't even really familiar with Eli Drake before I met him that night. I'd heard the name, but I didn't really know who he was. And when he walked in the venue, I didn't know who he was. I had talked to him earlier on the phone, but I didn't know who he was. And he walked in, and I was like, oh, who's that guy? Like you said, I knew he was somebody. Yeah. I didn't know if he just came off a movie set and decided to come check out the show. If he was I know who he was.
Yeah.
But he looked like a star when I saw him. And I think that, like you said, he pulls off the gimmick. So I'm glad that they're trying stuff out in NXT, like the $1 Million title. I just hope that there's an end in mind for it, and he's just not walking around with the title forever. Right.
Yeah. Like I said, I just hope it's a reason why he has it. And there again, that'll make my day if they did something with it. Moving on because we got to get ready to get out of here. This top 50 WWE tag teams.
We still have a segment after this that we can get into.
We got to talk about this. Let me set it up there. The New Day was picked number 1, and I know there was a lot of great tag teams on that list. And one thing, I looked at the list, and you guys could give us your thoughts on, who you guys perhaps may have thought number 1 should have been out of the top 50 WWE tag teams. And the one thing about this list, I was hot for a second because I didn't see Harlem Heat on there.
Right.
But then I saw it was all WWE tag teams. Right. So I said, all right, I'm good. I'm good with that. No, took me right out of the equation. But for a second, I definitely was ready to call somebody.
Somebody was about to get it.
No, I was ready to come on the show and just totally just go off, But no, seeing the list of tag teams that were on it, we got to talk about that.
Yeah,
I think not just the New Day being the number 1 on that list, but the list of characters that was on that list, I think is more so important to how we got to number 1 more than anything. So let's talk about that. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. Like I said, give us your opinion on who you thought was the best WWE, let's get that straight, tag team of all times, or actually top 50 anyway. Give us your thoughts, who you think it was. Be back in a minute. Stick around.
And your question for the win. In The Insider, Al Pacino's character works on which TV show?
Is it 60 Minutes?
And your winner!
The Movie Trivia Schmodown, the most competitive movie trivia league in the world.
It's MMA or boxing. It's like you want to see the two best scrapping it out.
Vincent D'Onofrio. 2 points. Movie release date.
Wow.
Danny DeVito.
That's correct. You mother! The rising sun! And your winner!
Championships, factions, the best in the world play here.
I'm ready to schmo down. Throw down with the schmo down.
This is why we play the Schmodown.
The professional sports league of movie trivia. This isn't bar trivia. This is the Movie Trivia Schmodown.
Shup. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. I was trying to look up that top 50.
I have it right here.
You got it?
I do. I have the top 50 tag teams. Where do you want me to start? Do you want me to start with 50? You want me to go top 20, top 10?
Man. Start with 50.
Start with 50?
And just run through it real quick.
Okay, here we go. We have at number 50, Bushwhackers. 49, Too Cool. 48, the Quebecers. 47, Smoking Guns. Strike Force, the Head Shrinkers. Kane, Batista, and Ric Flair.
Where's that? That team should not even be on that list. Keep it going.
I agree. Eminem, which is Melina Nitro Mercury. Nasty Boys, rated RKO. Paul London and Brian Kendrick.
Wait a minute. And the Nasty Boys is number what?
The Nasty Boys are number 41.
41. All right.
41. All right. So
keep going.
Nasty Boys, rated RKO, Paul London and Brian Kendrick. DIY, number 37 is the world's greatest tag team. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. You have DIY. Oh, my thing froze up for a second.
The DIY is number what?
DIY is number 38. Who is DIY? I don't know. Number 37 is World's Greatest Tag Team. Number 36 is Money Inc. Number 35 is who's Money Inc. Oh no, I know Money Inc. That's IRS and $1 Million Man. Number 35 is Chris Jericho and the Big Show. Number 34, the Natural Disasters.
That's a team. Big Show and Jericho. That shouldn't be on there.
Number 33, the Street Profits. Number 32, Jack and Gerald Briscoe. Number 31, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Number 30, Owen Hart and British Bulldog. Number 29, John Morrison and The Miz. Number 28, The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. Number 27, Team Hell No, Kane and Daniel Bryan. Number 26, Nikita Koloff and the Iron Sheik. Volkov and the Iron Sheik. Number 25, Los Guerreros. I actually think they might need to be higher. Number 24, the APA. Number 23, the Blackjacks. Number 22, the Shield. Number 21, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Number 20, the Undisputed Era. Number 19, the Soul Patrol, Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas. Number 18, Professor Toru Tanaka and Mr. Fuji. Number 17, the Steiner Brothers. Number 16, the Rock and Sock Connection. 15, the Wild Samoans. 14, Rockers. 13, the Mega Powers of Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan. Number 12, the Valiant Brothers. Number 10, Demolition. And then now, number 11, Demolition. Now we get to the top 10. You ready for the top 10, Book?
Yeah.
10, the British Bulldogs. 9, the Brothers of Destruction. Number 8, the New Age Outlaws. Number 7, the Usos. Number 6, the Legion of Doom. Number 5, the Dudley Boys. Number 4, Edge and Christian. Number 3, the Hart Foundation. Number 2, the Hardy Boys. And number 1, the New Day. Yeah.
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 Well, one thing, I thought the Nasties should have been much higher on that list. I don't know why the Nasty thing getting enough love as they should. The Nasty Boys they were iconic, man, in a lot of different ways. They went out and they worked. They wasn't the best, technical workers you ever saw or anything like that. But man, Nasty Boys was a hell of a gimmick. And those guys went out and made you feel like it was a fight going on every time you watched them. I don't know why would they be number 41. My boys, the Usos, they're my boys, man. But I just don't think they rank high. I mean, the Hart Foundation, are they higher than the Hart Foundation?
They are not higher than the Hart Foundation, no.
They're not higher than the Hart Foundation.
No, but here's my thing. How do you put the Rockers at number 14? How do you put Legion of Doom at number 6? That's the Road Warriors. You know what I mean? Like, these teams need to be higher than the Valiant Brothers.
Well, the Valiant Brothers, those guys are homegrown WWF.
They're cool. I have nothing wrong with the Valiant Brothers, but I have something wrong with them being what did I say that they were? Number 10?
Yeah, something
number 12.
like that.
Number 12. They're number 12.
I can see the Valiant. The Valiant Brothers actually, they were a good tag team. They were different.
I don't know.
They were before your time, so you don't know a whole lot about the Valiant, but the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, and his brother, the illustrious Johnny Valiant.
I know about them, but I don't think they're number 12.
I don't know, man. Let me tell you, man. Boogeyman Valiant, Jimmy, the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant, one of the best wrestlers that ever put on a pair of boots, man. You got to know your history. So that's why I say I can see those guys being in there.
Who do you think? Do you think the New Day is the greatest WWE tag team? Because I'll say, out of the list I saw, I would not put them number 1 personally.
Well, when I look at stuff like that, I look at stats. And
11-time champ.
If we look at stats, the New Day would have to be the greatest, WWE tag team champion, just like Harlem Heat being the reigning 10-time, tag team champions in WCW. We set the record. Who would be a better? Who would be a greater tag team than my brother and I? Come on, just because they put them together, our stats, outweigh theirs in so many different ways. So that's what I look at as far as why the New Day is put in that position. And if that's the reason, they are well deserving of being in that position.
Well, if it's only on championship wins, then sure, yeah, you can put them in number 1. I think that I can make a case for the New Day being a top 10 or a top 5 tag team in WWE specifically. But number one, man, like above,
but the thing
above
is,
the Hardy Boys.
You look back at the Rockers' reign. How many titles they won?
Technically, like officially, they won none.
Exactly.
Officially, they won, but they really didn't.
Then you got the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys, they went out and they set the bar as far as tag team wrestling goes. At that
I think
time,
they're the best.
Multi-time.
I think the best in WWE. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's definitely an argument there for the Hardy Boys being the best WWE tag team that ever put on a pair of boots. It's definitely an argument there. But when you look at the New Day and what they've done over a period of time that they've done it, how long that they've stayed together, this thing, it seemed like it's endless. You know what I mean?
6 years, I think. 6 years.
God's sake, please break
7.
them up. That's where I'm at with this deal. But no, they keep weathering the storm and they keep going out there, making the people buy in.
I think that this is my thing. I think that, and there could be an attitude era bias for me. I think that you can't start the conversation of New Day until I think you could give them the 4th spot. I think that's the highest you could put them on the list, in my opinion. I think as an Attitude Era fan and knowing what those tag teams meant in that era, I put Hardy's number 1. I put Edge and Christian 2. I put Dudley's 3. Then we can start. If we're talking about WWE tag teams that really meant something and did it right, those are the first 3 teams I put on there. I mean, think about all the rest. They stole 2 WrestleManias in a row with the same match. They had the best match on the card, those 3 teams, in back-to-back WrestleManias.
Yeah.
Right? So for that reason, I put those 3 at the top of the list. And then I can put New Day 4. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with them being in the top 5. I can rock with that.
You know what?
I can't put them higher than 4.
I can go with that too. But I tell you what, you take one thing about all these guys, something they got in common, as far as the Hardy Boys, the New Day, the Dudleys. You put them all in the ring at the same time. All of them beat the hell out of all of them. That's the only thing they got in common. No, man. I wish, my brother and I would have had a chance to, mix it up with these guys, man, and actually show them what tag team wrestling really and truly was all about. I wish that could have happened. But we'll never know. We'll never know. And it's always going to be up for debate who was actually the greatest of all times as far as tag team wrestling goes. Hey, guys, we got to get ready to get out of here. But as I told you guys earlier, we got a new show coming to the Reality of Wrestling YouTube channel. And it's all about independent wrestling, guys. If you're a fan of the independent wrestling world, you definitely want to go to tune in and check it out because it's going to be something different. It's going to be something new. It's going to be something special. And I want each and every one of my followers here, each and everybody in the chat that hang out with us each and every week inside the Hall of Fame to check it out. We're going to debut it sometime next week. But it's going to be really, really cool, and I think you're going to love it. And again, I appreciate you guys for sticking it out with us for another hour and a half of just having some fun, doing it like it's supposed to be done, making them pay my son, making them say,
"Daddy, I don't want nothing."
We had enough, man. Hey, Bradley, appreciate you, man, as always, and we'll see you guys again, same place, same time next week. But right now, we out here.
You dig it, you sucker!